This meeting in New Philadelphia City Council, I come to order. Please rise and remain standing for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Father, we just ask you to be with us tonight, guide and direct us in all our decisions. Lord, we pray for our safety forces. We just pray for their safety. We pray for all those that are serving in the military to keep our country free. And we just ask all this in your son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome. Before we do the roll call, I'd like to welcome our new safety director, Mr. Kevin Milligan. So your first official meeting, so welcome to City Council.
Thank you.
I wish you had a better attendance for your first meeting.
They heard I was coming.
Yeah. Roll call.
Mr. Krimbell. Mr. Lanzer.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Rippett. Mr. Sears. Mr. Simile.
Present.
Mr. Walker.
All right, so we only have 3 here, so we cannot conduct any business tonight as we do not have a quorum. We can go ahead with our committee reports and the visitors' comments. So we'll move on to our committee reports. So like I said, first up is Mayor Day, or what?
Okay.
Excuse me, we'll do correspondence. We will do correspondence.
Okay.
So Ms. Courtwright.
To council and administration from Income Tax Administrator for the City, Carly Luce, dated April 1st, 2025. This is the statement of monthly refunds for March of 2025. To council and administration from Auditor Heather Denham, dated April 1st, 2025. This is an email titled 2025 Budget, and it has the statement of cash position, month-to-date totals, 2024 11 City of New Philadelphia PDF, and ordinance attachment certification as attachments. To council and administration from Danielle DiMatteo of the Auditor's Office, dated April 3rd, 2025. This is the March month-end report. To Mayor Day and members of council from Natalie Bolin, Executive Director of the Adams Board of Tuscarawas and Carroll County, dated April 10th, 2025. This is an email regarding DORA. To Councilman Sears from Jenny Ramsey, dated April 10th, 2025. This is an email titled DORA. Mr. Sears replied to Ms. Ramsey's email. To council members from Carrie Metzger, dated April 10th, 2025. This is an email titled Dora Letter to City Council. To council members from Mayor Day, dated April 11th, 2025. This is a forwarded email that was written by Dora Board President Dee Grossman to Empower Tusk's Carrie Metzger. To Clerk of Council from George Summers of New Philadelphia, dated April 12th, 2025. This is an email with 2 handouts for council regarding Mr. Summers' concerns about New Philadelphia City Schools. I forwarded the handouts to council members. To Clerk of Council from Krugliak Wilkins in Canton, Ohio. This is a notice that on April 1st, 2025, at or around 2 p.m., Elmer W. McClave and Eva K. McClave filed an annexation petition with the Board of Commissioners of Tuscarawas County. To Council Clerk from Treasurer Gerber, dated April 12th, 2025. This is the Treasurer's Investment and Savings Report for March of 2025. I forwarded this report to Council and Administration. To Council and Administration from Assistant to the Service Director, Jonalee Furnett, dated April 14th, 2025. This is the 2025 paving list. And to Council and Administration from Mayor Day, dated April 14th, 2025. This is the Mayor's report, and that concludes correspondence for this evening, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Ms. Courtwright. Now we'll move into our administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, fellow administrators, and guests. Before I touch on a couple things from the report I sent you earlier today, I want to tell you that Safety Director Milligan, Police Chief Pahovy, Service Director McAbeer, and Code Administrator Matthias and myself joined a Teams meeting this morning with New Philadelphia school administrators to get an overview of the traffic impact study conducted for construction of a new elementary school on the south side. We were encouraged by what we learned from TDA, the company hired to conduct the study. I'll prepare a statement to be included in Superintendent Wentworth's announcement, which I believe will come later this week, about the study. But I want to just tell everyone, the city administration is working closely with New Philadelphia schools to find solutions to traffic and logistical issues that come with construction of new schools. Tomorrow is the big day, tax day.
Yes.
Throughout the nation and here in the city of New Philadelphia, it's the annual income tax filing deadline. If you've waited until the last minute and you want to file with the city income tax department, which is right over here, expect a long line of filers at the office window tomorrow. The income tax department is located for you watching from home, lower level of City Hall, the John Nisley Municipal Center at 150 East High Avenue. The city of New Philadelphia has a mandatory filing requirement. So if you live or work in New Philadelphia, you must file a income tax return with us every year. If you miss tomorrow's deadline, the late filing fee is $25. The 1.5% city income tax, by the way, pays for city services, including fire and police protection. The city's now taking applications for seasonal workers, including lifeguards for Tuscarora Park. The application is on the city's website. Fill it out, print it, then bring it to the completed application to the mayor's office window, or you can email it to City Human Resources Director Lacey McCain. And she'll look it over and then schedule an interview with you to see if you can be hired for seasonal work. That concludes my report. Any questions?
Any questions for the mayor?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mayor D. Service Director, Mr. McAbeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. A couple of projects that are winding down or trying to get there. Franklin Square, this week they'll come in and restripe all that. If we knew the last time, it was after about 3 or 4 days. Inclement weather didn't play well for them. So they're gonna stripe it again this week, and then hopefully in the following weeks we'll get back and they're supposed to grind out the couple high spots there. If anybody's been down on 4th Street, there are a couple bumps there, and then some other issues that are on 4th Drive, and then that standing water also they're gonna try to address. Also another job that's close to finishing up is North Avenue Northeast, that wire line project we had. It's been trying times over there, but during the winter and that is just tough time to keep moving. But reclamation started last week. They had a equipment breakdown, but they was back over there today. They look to be done in there by the end of the week. And then after that, Newton Asphalt comes in and that whole road gets paved. So that looks to be first week of May, maybe the end of April. So again, that project will be hopefully finishing up. I'll report on both of those at the next council meeting. Also, after last meeting, I had talked about how Roswell Trail was gonna do some clearing and grubbing out there to start getting ready for that. They did start. They had ran into an area that had a drainage ditch through there, so they had to bring in a logging bridge. They did bring that in so that we could end up doing the environmental work. So environmental work will be done here in the next, probably the next couple of months. And then that'll be it for that project for this year. They won't start construction on it until 2026, but I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. Also, at the next meeting, I should have a better idea of a starting time for Glen Drive Phase 2, because on the 23rd, we'll have a pre-construction meeting, so I hope to have a starting date. I know we always shot for right around June, second week of June right there, make sure that school's out and everything because of the school buses. But just want to make everybody aware of that. And also, what we talked about earlier with the paving list, as everybody saw that got passed out to everybody or signed up email-wise. And that about $525,000 paving with that, those streets there. And then naturally we have the $1,175,000 through small cities paving, so total about $1.7 million that we'll be paving this year. And bear in mind with the 525,000, with salt use, so that brings down that material. So with any time you got more salt, you gotta buy it, so it's all out of the same line item, or same batch of money, I guess I should say, maybe not line item. So, again, that'll be starting. It's Newton Asphalt on the one. We have not had a pre-construction meeting yet for the small cities, but when that comes available, I'll make sure I share that. That's in my report.
Any questions for Mr. McAbeer? How about the project on the square? When does that start, or look to start?
I don't think till July. They've got 50% drawings we got back, early last week. So 50% drawings are at that point right now, but they still, are looking at July.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? Yes, Ms. Ramos.
You guys sent us a long time ago the plans for the quadrants downtown, the 3 quadrants. Would you be able to send those again, or they're drawing them up now again, or?
I'll send it to you again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But it's 50%. So it's not the completed,
Yeah, the drawings,
right.
because we got like a conceptual,
Yeah, well, you should, you
Design.
should look at these anyways.
okay.
Yep, I'll
Yeah.
send it.
Yeah, what they're doing, so.
Right.
Because I forget where I put the conceptual designs in my filing system.
Well, this shows like where all the electrical's going, all the
Okay.
plumbing,
Yeah.
and those type of things.
Could
more
you send me
detail.
the conceptual designs again?
I think it was included in that PDF. If not,
You
we
think-
can send
okay.
it to you, yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else need those?
I'll send them out to everybody.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
I'll just do it that way.
All right, move on to Safety Director, Mr. Milligan.
Well, thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, council members, my colleagues, administration, and guests. Before I proceed with a couple remarks, I would like to take a moment and reflect and acknowledge my predecessor, Mr. Popham, for his 20-plus years service to the city and the outstanding work he did serving our safety forces and our citizens. I want to extend my thoughts and prayers to his family and friends on his passing. So, I had a long relationship with Mr. Popham dating back to 1997. And I've enjoyed that, and he'll be greatly missed. And I look forward to building on the strong foundation that he's created here in the city. As I present my first report, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to Mayor Day for entrusting me this opportunity to oversee the safety forces of the city of New Philadelphia. Public service has played a prominent role in my life, mostly in fire service and law enforcement, with over 13 years of my career spent in that, with the remaining 17 years in healthcare. So I'm eagerly looking forward to re-engaging in this work again and collaborating with administration and continue to build on the strong foundation that the city has with its safety services. Over the past couple weeks, I've had the privilege of meeting with Chief Behovey and Chief Parrish to discuss their visions for their respective departments, their perspectives on public safety, and how I can partner with them to build an already strong foundation of their departments. During my meetings with both of the chiefs, I was deeply impressed by their passion and commitment to safety and well-being of their team and assuring our safety forces are performing at the highest levels. We discussed their successes in their departments and the challenges they face moving forward. I'm looking forward to working with them in this body to address those challenges moving forward and to assure the men and women of our safety forces are prepared to meet the growing challenges they face here locally and across the country. In my meetings with the mayor, chief, and members from each respective department unions, I shared my vision for partnering with them to build strong relationships, transparency that we will use to address these challenges facing public safety across the country and here locally. Over the next few weeks, I look forward to scheduling meetings with each member of council to get to know you and get to better understand your visions of public safety and how our public safety services are serving your constituents in your respective wards. So I look forward to reaching out to you and holding those meetings to begin to develop our relationship. Over the next few months, I'll be collaborating with department leaders and members to both departments and commencing discussions about a recruitment and retention strategy, along with developing a 5-year operational plan and working with the respective teams to evaluate our department's strengths and opportunities for improvement. I look forward to routinely reporting to this governing body our progress and strategic planning, our department's operational performance, and from time to time recognizing the men and women who are currently serving in our safety forces and serving our citizens here locally in New Philadelphia. I also look forward to working with you and the citizens of New Philadelphia to ensure we're meeting the needs and demands of the service. In closing, I'd like to once again thank Mayor Day for this opportunity. I look forward to working closely with council, administration, the chiefs, and both men and women of the New Philadelphia Fire Department and Police Department. I'm committed to ensuring that they have a great environment to work, the tools they need to do their job, and the support from the governing bodies to provide the safety and security to the citizens they desire and the city's needs for the future growth and development. So thank you, and I look forward to working with this group and committee. I look forward to scheduling meetings with each one of you to better understand your vision for our safety forces, understand what the perspectives from your constituents and your wards are. And once again, I'll thank Mayor Day for the opportunity, and I look forward to working with my colleagues in administration on serving the city again. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Milligan. Auditor, Mr. Gruber. Excuse me, Treasurer. We'll get the auditor and get you Heather.
All right, who do you want?
You can go.
Oh, we can go, all right. All right, I submitted my monthly investment and savings report to the clerk of council. We had gains in the First Federal Money Market Account, Meter Investment, GIDP, and also the US Bank. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gruber. Now, Heather, I'm sorry, we'll go to the auditor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report tonight.
All right. And Law Director is excused from the meeting tonight. We'll move into our board commission reports. First up, Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Planning Commission met this last Tuesday and discussed how we're going to handle subdivisions of parcels going forward. So I'll be sending the minutes out to all the council members so that you can read about the discussion we had. And we'll be meeting again, continuing that discussion, second Tuesday of next month at 1 p.m. here in council chambers.
All right, any questions for Mayor Day? Thank you. Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. McAbeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board of Zoning Appeals met for a working meeting. Really haven't met for 4 months and looking to fill a vacancy on the board. I don't know, some of you may remember Lyle Tope, so he showed interest in it. So he had showed up last week on the 8th and hoping that he will join. I think he'd be an asset to the board. But we went through with all the different zoning changes, that we had made in the last year. So it was really just working through things. They had a lot of questions of Josh and I of where things was, and was able to guide them on the website to where to go, because they didn't really have the full grasp of that yet. But again, it was a good working session, and it seems to go that way. We may start having one every few months to keep, but it's been, I've never seen it, as far as this 4 months in between, so we'll keep on top of it, and if we need to feel like we meet, we will.
All right. Who dropped off the board?
Harry Motter.
Oh, Harry, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Airport Commission, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission normally meets on the second Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m., but we had to cancel the meeting and changed it to tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. due to lack of quorum. So we'll be meeting at the Harry Cleaver Airport Meeting Room at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alonso. Health Board, Mr. Simmelink.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Health Board met on the 9th at their regular meeting, and one of the topics of discussion was a loss in budget, as you know, in government budget cuts and funding cuts, and you're probably aware that the county health department took a hit. Our city health department lost $30,000. which they have accommodated those losses with supply orders, hirings. We're in the process of Vicky Iona is retiring 1st of June, and Nicole is taking her place, and we're holding that salary, but we'll have a new director of nursing, do public nurse, public health nurse coming in. You need those to fill out the staff, sort of order supplying, things like that. They've accommodated that 30,000, so they don't need to come to council with a horrible situation. And they're really good at getting grants. They just got another grant for mosquito spraying, you know. They're good throughout the year, they get stuff like that, so. They're in good shape.
All right.
And they're managing the department well, it seems to me, and I'm happy to report that. Thank you.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Simmelink? If not, we move on to our council committee reports. Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right, zone and annexation, Mr. Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want everybody to know that the McClave annexation is proceeding.
All right. Yay. It's taking a while, right? All right, so that takes care of our committee reports. Now we're open to visitors' comments. The floor is now open for visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address council should rise, state your name and address, and address all comments to the chair. You are given 5 minutes. Just a prelude, if there's no action going to be taken on legislation tonight, if you're here for the DORA, we are scheduling the council of the whole meeting at 7 o'clock on the 28th to specifically talk about DORA, and it's going to be up for the third reading, so there'll be some action taken. So you're welcome to speak tonight, but probably be better heard when all council members are here on the 28th. So that's up to you folks, but you, sir.
My name's George Summers. This next 5 minutes is stuff you're gonna need to know. Some of you have heard from me before, so I'm gonna try not to go through that again. I love this council, the city leadership, they do a fantastic job. I believe they're doing the best thing that can be done with every bit of money they can get hold of, and that's why I'm here. This school issue has some unacceptable collateral damage. By putting every elementary school kid from pre-K through 6 at South, it forces closure of every existing elementary school in the district. Worse, it forces a $1 billion bus bomb on all of our taxpayers. The collateral damage of this is that all these good works that you folks do, your funding's gonna dry up if any of it comes from property taxes. What the fire department did here several years back to get into their present facility, way to go, gang. If we need to do something with the airport, the police facilities, master paving projects, those wells are gonna be hard to go to. This tax burden that we're gonna throw on everybody if this thing passes is going to be horrendous and unnecessary. The school has a couple of legitimate issues. There is moderate elementary overcrowding. The 1913 old high school classroom facility and all of Welty are over 100 years old and in need of replacement. Most of the other facilities, other than York, which has its set of issues and it's way out in the Tules, are remediable without spending $11 million on the construction and the ridiculous $1 billion on unnecessary transportation. Here's the problem. What should be happening is there should be a 600 student 3, 4, 5, 6 built along the south edge of South. It fits, I've measured it, I have planned it all out. That takes care, with one new $30 million construction, takes care of every legitimate need regarding the elementary schools, because in addition to what can be parked there, Central can take over everything that don't fit. There's 600 students from north to south every day, 5 days a week for 36 weeks for 60-plus years is crazy numbers. We don't need to be busing 600 kids every day from north to south. But wait, there's parent taxis, bad news. I've done this mileage check and done all the numbers on this. The average person driving south with their kid is gonna pay $2,000 a year in automotive expenses for how many ever years they do it. And then they'll be replaced by a new set of parents doing the same thing for the whole 60 years, because once we build, the taxpayers won't fund any more building for at least 60 years. We're replacing everything. You ain't gonna pass another building thing for 60 years. I'm here to get the word out to you folks. There's other plans. I've put them out to everybody, including the school board, numerous times. They have the plans. You folks can get my write-ups. I've been studying this for 5 years. By stopping by the desk, give me your email address, and I'll send you as much of my work as you want and not a page more. Am I under 5 minutes?
You are.
Hallelujah.
All right, thank you.
Does anybody have any questions of me right now?
No, I think everybody got your email. We got all the copies as you sent Julie.
That isn't everything. That whole briefcase isn't even
Okay,
everything.
all right.
I've been at this for 5 years. What I
Well-
haven't told you, I retired from being the corporate operations advisor for a $5 billion nuclear utility. I am not a crackpot. I am a pro. So I hope you listen to me tonight, and good luck to New Philly.
All right, thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Jamie Cunningham. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be here on the 28th to speak
All right,
amongst everyone. I run a recovery meeting on Mondays, and I canceled that meeting today so that I can be here to speak on behalf of the recovery community. I worked at a rehab center for women for 2.5 years. I've seen what drinking and drugs have done to families, not just the person drinking, but it impacts the entire family. We have children who are raised up seeing alcohol being drank on a daily basis in their homes. And if they come down to New Philadelphia and see it, open container, walking down the streets with alcohol in their hands, being intoxicated, that's just validating that that's all that they're ever gonna be around. I am working with people in the jail who also are in there because of drugs and alcohol. And there are people who have grown up from infant all the way until 40 years, 50 years, that have been surrounded by drugs and alcohol their entire life, and they feel hopeless that there's something different out there for them. And with changing the DORA to being every day, that is a horrible decision to make, because you're changing the dynamic of our community. I live a half a block away from where the DORA limits are. I have kids. I don't want my kids to think that it's normal for people to be drinking alcohol, that's the only thing that you have to do when you're an adult. I am 33 years old, and I had a crisis about 2 years ago because I didn't know what I liked to do as an adult. I was surrounded by being a mom, being a wife, and my entire life we're fed, you can't wait until you're 21 because then you can go and drink. You can't wait until you're 21 because then that's when the party really starts. And that was before we had open containers inside the streets. And I'm not here just as a concerned citizen. I'm here because who is speaking on behalf of the families, the kids? We have these business people who are more worried about their money, another dollar in their pocket, but we don't have anybody who's up here defending for the families or
I'm sorry.
the real thoughts on the impact that it's gonna have on the kids. We have how many drug rehab facilities in the Tuscarawas County? We have a handful. We have a lot of people who have these meetings to help the people who are addicted and who are alcoholics, to help them overcome this problem that we're gonna be slamming right into their face. I am able to avoid the beer garden in the fair. I'm able to keep my kids out of the beer garden. But when we have the beer garden in our entire downtown area, how am I supposed to keep my kids from there? I walk my dogs in downtown New Philadelphia with my kids, my 9-year-old and my 5-year-old. They grew up with a dad who was an alcoholic. I did my best to keep them away from that life because it's important for them to see that there is more to life than just drinking and drugs. And with that, I'm done. Thank you
All
for your
right,
time.
thank you. Thank you for your comments.
How often are these doors held? How often are these doors held?
So right now, Dora is event only, but there's talk to make it an everyday basis, 7 days a week.
That's what we're gonna talk about on the 28th, about amendments to change that, and so that's what we're talking about on the 28th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Oh, all right.
Bonnie Petrullo, New Philadelphia, Ohio. I'm not good at public speaking. I was hoping I didn't have to do this. The next council meeting, you said you're going to talk about it. Actually, you're going to vote on it.
Well, yes, we're looking at some amendments, and it's a third reading on the amendments, so yes, action will be taken at that meeting.
So now's the time, I guess, to speak. I oppose Dora. I did not grow up in New Philly, but I raised a family in New Philly. One of the things I heard over and over again is what a great community this is to raise a family. Putting Dora out there, it's not a family-friendly event. It's an adult activity. I'm concerned on just what is the message that we're sending. You're talking about, you want revenue. I know at one of the council meetings when we talked about Dora the first time around, there was concern for the homeless. You talked about not having a marijuana dispensary in the downtown. And one of the councilmen was concerned about the homeless center being close to the downtown, that would not be a good idea to have a dispensary so close. And yet we talk about alcohol, which I'm sure no one in the homeless center has a problem with alcohol. I've heard from people that were begging you at the last time we talked about Dora not to do this to them. They are recovering alcoholics. They struggle every day to stay clean, but they're not being listened to. I did talk to a few council people, and one of the things that they said they said they listen. In past council meetings that I have been, whether it's Dora or other events, and I don't see the listening there. The councilman said he needs to hear from the opposing and also the ones that are for the event. And yet there was 390 signatures on a petition opposing Dora that were never given their due. From everyone I've talked to on council about those 390 signatures opposing Dora would say, well, they're not all from New Philly. They were in our downtown, they were patronizing our shops, they were all concerned with what's happening in New Philly, and there were still 150 that were in our residents of New Philly that are still being discounted because other ones on that petition were not living in Philly. Those 150 should be awarded due. You don't see 150 people here, but they're on that paper with their names and addresses. And I don't see that being listened to. It's been being discounted and kind of set aside. And the people that I have talked to from council have always said, well, they've only heard from a few people opposing Dora. Again, they're not looking at the petition that was out there with almost 400 signatures. That's not right. The open container, there's reasons that we have rules, regulation, laws, many communities, states, cities, laws that you cannot have an open container. I expect there's reasons behind those laws on why we do not have open container. And yet, we're talking about Dora, and all of a sudden, the Dora hours there's no concerns about having an open container, then why not just have it all the time? DORA does not get rid of those reasons on why we don't allow open container to begin with. We have to look at this with some common sense, not just the dollars that it might create. There's other ways you can produce dollars for the VFW, which I am totally for, and for council too, all hardworking people that have been voted in here. You have to give credit for that too. But I would like the council people to really, really listen when there are opposing views. There are people here tonight, or that are not here tonight, that say, there's no point, they've already made up their mind. There's no point, they've already made up their mind. That you only hear on the day of the vote is not helpful. It doesn't give the council time to say, oh, that might be a concern. We might want to take that into discussion. And one of the things I'm concerned about with this is there is a paragraph in the DORA proposal that allows you to sit in a parked car and drink your DORA cup. Not a lot of people understand that this is allowed. I did talk to Councilman Brian Sears. He said he took it to Marvin Fate, who is not here tonight, who is supposedly taking it to the law enforcement to possibly not do this part of DORA and not to be able to sit in a parked car and and drink alcohol. That's never been allowed before, and all of a sudden now it's just okay. Because why? Because they're underneath DORA hours. It doesn't change the fact of why we don't allow these things. And yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people in New Philly, and I know when I approached this subject before 7 months ago, even to the DORA lady that had the PowerPoint, I asked her about it, and she didn't seem to know about that fact that's in there. It's on page 8, the lower part. You do have to read it carefully because it's divided up with little spacing of like paragraphs. If you read it carefully, you can sit in a parked car and drink your alcohol. I would really like more discussion from council, whether in public or in private, to include those 150 New Philly signatures that were on that petition. And there was some work put into that petition, I would think, and you don't want to recognize that either. That's just not fair to the ones that are opposed to DORA.
5 minutes are up.
Oh, sorry. Last thing, it's kind of the same thing as we don't sell candy cigarettes anymore. You don't want to promote that activity. So even with proposing, mocktails or pretend drinks, you're sending the wrong message. I do appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I ask what DORA is? I'm not being flippant. I'm only aware of Dora the Explorer.
That's it, that's the problem.
What does the letter stand for?
Can I answer that?
Yes, Cheryl.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
It's
I think he answered it for her.
he said it's a designated outdoor refreshment area,
Okay.
with the refreshment being open carry alcoholic drinks that you can purchase at the liquor permitted establishments downtown and carry downtown. Once you go into another liquor permitted establishment, you have to finish that drink and throw away the cup, and then you can go into the next place and buy another drink and kind of like bar hop your way around. But you only one drink in each establishment.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, hearing none, council comments. Any councilman with comments tonight?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
All right, hearing none, I'd take a motion to adjourn. We have no legislative agenda tonight.
So moved, Mr. President.
All right, it's 8:08.
Any new business?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna take care of that. There's no one here.
Unless you got
With who? The pop cans?